Sleeping in, staying up all damn night, sleeping in for the rest of our lives. Oh my, maybe we were lovers in a past life. Maybe we were so good in the same night, counting up forever every morning with the sun in our eyes.
Hi guys, thank you and welcome back to my channel. So this week, we haven't been in here for like a long time. Do you see anything changed back here? I kind of changed the cabinet a little bit, but this week we're actually going to go in to answer all your questions regarding my breast augmentations. I've been pulling back, not answering them directly with you on DM because I want to do a video that answer everybody's question in like kind of in one video, and I actually did do some notes with all your questions, so I'm gonna go in and answer all of that. Also, I'm gonna mention a few things that I would think you need to know before you go into get your breast augmentation done, getting your boob job done, things that I didn't know before I got my breast augmentation. So if y'all interested about all the questions, how much it costs, what the recovery like, and all of that, what kind of implants I got, so stay tuned and we're gonna go in and answer all of that questions right now. Okay, so at first, my voice is crackling and losing my voice right now because we just finished taking the photos for the cover, and then it's hot in here. So usually when it's like really hot and humid, my voice start going like out. So let me turn on the AC just a little bit. Okay, so since my last video, my first video since the surgery, it has been a little bit over 2 months now, so everything is practically healed. When I did my surgery, he mentioned that all the surgery usually settled down or kind of like heal, set where it's supposed to be within 6 weeks. So the first 6 weeks is going to be like the most important week for you to kind of like taking care of your boobs, because during the first 6 weeks, your boob's going to be really sore, your muscle going to be really tense, and everything is still swollen and haven't dropped until it's hit 6 weeks. So with breast augmentation, the timeline is like 6 weeks is when everything starts to drop, fully heal. It's going to take you about 3 months to some people more like 6 months. So it's going to be around 3 to 6 months is when you kind of like fully heal, fully drop. And I'm currently only a little bit over 2 months, like 2.5 months right now. So this is what they look like. Okay, let me take this off because it's hot as fuck. Oh. Okay, so this is what they look like right now. So this is the Fenty Beauty bra. So I took a lot of picture before with like a sport bra, so you kind of like see what they look like in a sport bra, but you now haven't seen them what they actually look like in like an actual bra with like kind of like underwire. Like technically right now I don't really even need the underwire, but this like my first time wearing the underwire to see how it is, because you can start wearing the underwire after you reach 6 months, and I'm already like 2.5 months, so I can start wearing normal bra again. And for the bra size, before I was more like a small, or for like underwire bra I'm gonna be more like 32B. That's gonna be my original size before, and this bra size right now is 34C. So I bought a lot of bra after my post-surgery, and I fit perfectly in all 34C. So that's kind of like the size I was looking for. So I showed you before what I did my first video that I want my breast augmentation. I showed you the video what my look like before, so I'm not going to show you again what they look like here. So this is going to be in front, and this is 3/4. So this is what they look like right now with a bra. This bra does have a little bit padding, so it doesn't really have like push up like Victoria's Secret. It just have like all over padding, so it's going to be a little bit more comfortable. So this is what they look like on profile, and then 3/4, and then forward, and here is what they look like on the other side. So if you can see, it's not like really huge or giant, and that's it's kind of like exactly what I wanted when I get my breast augmentation, because I don't want them to be like a little bit too big or too giant, and then I can't really wear any other clothes. I want them to be like the perfect size that I can still wear my clothes now, but just kind of like filling them out a little bit more, like more perfectly before when I have like no boobs. Okay, so I'm just gonna start out with things that I didn't know before I go into full breast augmentation. So this, what I got done, he called it the 24 hours recovery. It's kind of like a flash 24 hours recovery, which is mean it's like kind of like the old time. Traditionally, when you get a boob job, you get all this drainage and all of these bandages, kind of like the old school way of doing it. The new way they're doing it is going to be a little bit more quicker in recovery. There's going to be no drainage at all, so which is kind of like a plus because you don't want to go around with all this drainage and all that bandage. It doesn't look like bloody anymore, so practically you can go out to eat the night of the surgery or 24 hours after the surgery. So that's why they call it like the 24 hours flash recovery. If you watch my video, I did not go out to eat after my surgery because I was kind of still high on anesthesia. And so you guys, I got titties. A lot of girls go now after 24 hours because they can still kind of like numb and still under anesthesia, so don't really feel anything. Me, I don't want to risk it, so we didn't go out at all. And I did feel the pressure because my boobs was going from like really flat, from like practically 0 to 60 within an hour. So I was stretched out a lot, and that is one of like the things that I didn't know before I go into surgery. And I talked to my other friends that she also did got her boob done at the same time, and she's like traditional girl and she have a little bit more tissue than I do, so she didn't get a lot of like muscle tightening. Her back didn't hurt as much. But for me, since I'm going from like 0 to like 60 within an hour, all my muscle right in here is really stretched. And with that, I'm gonna answer one of the questions: what kind of implant placement did I get? And what I got is submuscular, which is there's like 3 different types. You can put it on top of your muscle or under your muscle. Mine is submuscular. That means it's kind of like half up, half down. What that means is he cut kind of like all the muscle right in here from your armpit here into right there. So all of that right here, all this muscle is kind of like lifted, and he put the implants right underneath. That's going to be submuscular. So it's kind of like half muscle, and this right underneath here is not under the muscle. And the reason why we did it that way, because since I don't have a lot of breast tissue right up here doing under the muscle, gonna give it a little bit more like a natural ski slope teardrop look. If I put it on top of my muscle, you can see a lot of like the shape of the implants. A lot of girls getting on top of the muscle, and you can see kind of like the implants itself, they look really rounded. So I didn't really want to do that, so that's why we did under the muscle. But I didn't want to do all the way under the muscle, because then you can't really do fitness a lot or you do workout a lot. And because each time you do kind of like butterfly press or doing push-up, all your muscle right here is still kind of like active, so kind of like pressing again your implants. So on the first practically 2 to 3 weeks, my whole muscle right in here was so stretched. I can't really use my arm to kind of like push myself off of like the table, off of the bed. And they recommend me not pushing or pulling any of door opening for the first like 3 up to 6 weeks, because that muscle is so tight and you can really feel it pressing against your implants. So it feels kind of like this really weird feeling. It feels like somebody giving you chest compression each time you like using your arm to push and pull something, because your muscle was like pressing against the implants. Does that make sense? And that's one of the things I didn't know going to doing my breast augmentation. Asked one of my friends, and she didn't really get that because she have a little bit more tissue for it, because it's already kind of like expand a lot. And then yeah. And another thing that I didn't know about going to breast augmentation is called breast animation. So what that does is kind of like, because it's under the muscle right in here, and each time you do your arm raise like up like this, if you can see right, this muscle, because it's still kind of like really tight, it's still kind of like pressing again the implants right in here. So when you do a lot of like push up or like arm press and like that after your breast surgery, this muscle right in here kind of like bulking up, and you don't want that. It's going to make your breast look a little bit more separated if you do a lot of push-ups. So after your breast augmentation, you can't really do a lot of like push-up and then arm press and all of that because of the muscle right in there, especially if you don't have any breast tissue before, because if you do a lot, all of this gonna start, all your cleavage gonna be kind of like separated slowly, and all your boobs gonna be like to the side. I don't want them to be to the side. I don't want them to be like kind of center. So that is one of the things I didn't know before going to do my breast augmentation. Even though right now my right one is a little bit more less animation, but my left one, if I do have the other bra, you can see it a lot more easy. So if you can kind of like see it right now, like right in here, it's kind of like in and out. So that's kind of called like animations. So that's what I meant. And I think you get less of that if you do on top of the muscle, but then you kind of like train in seeing the implants itself. Another thing I didn't know about before I go into breast augmentation is my nipple for the first 3 to 4 weeks was sensitive as hell. It's like super sensitive. Like my nipple was probably dead before my surgery, but because you have to wear the compression bra for up to 4 to 6 weeks, and everything is kind of like constantly pressing against your chest like 24 hours, and you can have that feeling that your nipple getting a little bit kind of like raw feeling or really like shaving feelings. Plus one of the question is where I got my incision is I got my incision right on my nipple, and we're gonna talk about that. But yeah, since I got my incision right on my nipple, everything got like super more sensitive. The first 4 weeks is less sensitive now, but right now it's still a little bit more like puffy, or yeah, puffy, because it's not fully healed yet, because the incision is still kind of like healing itself. So even though everything else is kind of healed, my nipple is still a little bit more sensitive right now. And let's go in with the questions. So a lot of questions I'm getting is what side I end up getting. So when I first start going to consultation, we was talking about I did not want it too big, so we're planning around 310 to 75, because I think one of his clients before was around that size, and she looked like amazing. And then I kind of like want my boob to look like her, and that's her size, about 310 to 75. And then we was thinking about it, and then when we go into the surgery, he recommend going up a little bit more because I don't have any more tissues. So we end up going with 330 cc on my right side and 295 on my left side. We go a little bit more smaller on my left side because originally my left boobs have a little bit more breast tissue right in here, so we're kind of like trying to balance them out to go with 330 and then 295. So that's the size we end up right now, and I love that we went up a size. And a lot of people say after your breast augmentation you get like breast size envy, which I kind of have a little bit breast size envy. I know you get this a lot in other video, like I wish I go a little bit more bigger, but yeah. So yeah, so I did 330 and 295. That's gonna be the size I end up getting. And one of the other recent questions is, do you feel hard to breathe after breast augmentation? So when I first get out, if you watch the first video when we're first driving out of the surgery, I do feel like really super tight but I'm still under anesthesia, and I still feel like the numbness. It doesn't feel as bad, but until I got home, I do feel my chest getting really tight. especially when I took like a deep breath. And I can't do like a full breathe in or deep breath because everything is like expand a little bit more and everything gets a little bit tight, so it feels like somebody is sitting on your chest, so you can't really took that really deep breath. So you do feel a little bit more pressure the first, I would say the first 4 to 5 days after your breast augmentations. You're definitely going to feel something, but after 4 or 5 days everything was practically normal. You get kind of like used to the implants being in there. Plus the first week and second week was really like swollen also, so that kind of like put a little bit more pressure on your chest too. And you're also wearing like a compression bra for 24 hours, so that is also something that is kind of like pressed against your chest also. And it's another question is what type of implants did I get. So the implants that I'm having right now is called from Natural Cohesive. So that we went with more like a round shape natural cohesive, and it's more like neural line. I think it's 3 or 4 different ones. So originally the original implants, the traditional implants, that is more like a gel. If you cut the implants in half, you can see gelish material kind of like spilling out. The new technology right now is the cohesive gel, which is kind of feel like gummy, so it's kind of like a solid gel, so it's gonna prevent it from like breaking, or even if it start to like break, nothing gonna spill out of your body. So that's gonna be kind of like the safest way to go with implants. So that's the one that we went with. It's called Natural Cohesive, and everything is kind of like a little bit more soft and solid, so it's nothing, even if my implant structure, nothing gonna be like flowing out or spilling out of my chest. And the reason why we didn't go with more like saline implants, because I don't want to have that water balloon feel in my chest. Also, again, because I don't have a lot of breast tissue, and people would have, and with people don't have a lot of breast tissue, to get saline implants on their chest, you can feel a little bit more like the ripple from like the balloon itself, and it doesn't feel as natural as like the cohesive, or they call it the gummy bear implants. So that's another reason why I didn't want to have like the saline type implants. And yeah, and so we went with more like a round shape rather than a tear shape. At first I was thinking about getting to tear shape, but I did a lot of like research and then say, because the tear shape, it's gonna give you a little bit more like a tear shape. But the reason why I didn't get it, because implants tend to rotate also. So with the tear shape, gonna go like this, and if your boobs can like rotate over time, the tear shape, the fuller size, gonna sometimes it's end up on like the top side, and your bottom side gonna be a little bit more flat. And with getting more like a round implant, with gravity over time, it does gonna fill out the bottom a little bit more, but still keeping the top a little bit more full, which is what I want. Because if I get more like the exactly tear shape and have no tissue up here, my up here gonna look a little bit more like flat, because I have nothing in there. So that is the type of implants I went with. It's gonna be cohesive, round, and they have different profile. I went with more like a medium, not moderate profile. And I didn't want flat, because I think that's gonna be too flat, and definitely I can't go straight to like high profile, because I start out with like nothing, and if you go with high profile, it's gonna stretch your skin out a little bit too much, and sometimes it can give you a little bit more like stretch mark that way. So if you want to go bigger, they recommend go more like medium, moderate profile, and then over time you can switch it up to like a larger size, since your skin is kind of like stretched out. So yeah. What type of implants placement did you get? So they have 3 different type of implants placement. The one from your armpit, the one from your under your boobs, and then the one from your nipple, which is the areola, and that's the one that I got. I did not want to go with through the armpit, because your arm kind of go up and down a lot, and once you raise your arm, you can actually see the scar really bad right in there. If you do more like the arm, that's also really hard to create a pocket for your boobs. It's not really accurate, and then with your armpit you can get a lot of infection really easy because your arm kind of like creating natural bacteria, so I don't want to go through that. I definitely don't want to go under my boobs also because I'm afraid actually because I'm more like Asian and we get a little bit more keloid. I'll get scarred a little bit more easily, so I don't want to get underneath here, and you would definitely see like a scar under my boobs. And because my boobs, I didn't get that big of a boob, I don't get like a spillage or like a full over, so that scar would be a little bit more pronounced. It's gonna be like right there, and you actually kind of see it, and not, you can't really hide it without my boobs like rolling over. So that's why I didn't want to have that one, and I definitely want it to be like more like the nipple. That could be the least visible one. And right now actually I took the bandage off like within 4 weeks, and I barely see the scar, which is amazing. I was so scared to like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna scar so much, and right now I can barely see it. Like literally, if I stand in the mirror after the shower, I can't see it at all unless you like holding a mirror up to my boobs like this, or if you're like that close to my boobs and really look for it, then you can see a scar, but it's like barely there. And that's gonna help lead to the next questions if I use any scar gel. So right now I'm kind of like using the Skinuva scar right in here. So I'm using this on my nose incision for my rhinoplasty, also using that on my nipple areola incision also. And you're supposed to use the scar gel for about 6 months to help kind of like make it not raised or not red, or make the scar a little bit more less. So that's the scar gel that I use. And they do have this on like Amazon. That's where I got it from. It's a little bit more pricey. I think it's like $100, but it's gonna be really worth it to help reduce your scarring. And what was your recovery like? If you watched the last 2 videos, my surgery day and recovery, you can practically see how my recovery was. For recovery, I would definitely ask somebody to help you within like the first 2 weeks. I was so glad to have Andre helping at home because I can't really reach anything and we can't really pull anything, and it's really hard for me to like even push myself out of bed. So Andre kind of like helped me to do that because I can't really feel weird and too much pressure for me again to push with my arm. So definitely ask somebody to help you within the first 2 weeks or so. So yeah. And my recovery was actually not as bad. It's pretty easy recovery. Majority is going to be from like wearing the compression bra that cause a lot of back pain, because think again, if your muscle right in here get really stretched, everything is kind of like pulling the muscle from your arm. So my whole arm and shoulder was like this. I was walking around like this the whole time because everything in here was so tight and my back was hunching, and because everything is so tight, I can't really like roll my arm back like this to kind of like stretch for like 3 weeks, which caused me to have like a lot of like back pain. So if you watch my video, I was using like a massaging ball to help release the back pain. Plus you're wearing like the compression bra really tight all the time, and that doesn't help either, but you still have to wear it. So yeah, so that was my recovery was like. Like the first 3 weeks, I would say it's not that cute. But then after you reach like 5 to 6 weeks, it's getting much better. Do you wish you got a larger or smaller size? So I thought about this like a lot. I think the 330 is gonna be my perfect size right now because I try on clothes, it's fit into everything. I think more like in the future when I have to like switch them out, or I decide to go bigger, maybe in like 5 or 10 years, maybe I'm gonna go with more like 370, maybe 380. I don't think I can reach up to like 400. That might be a little bit too big for me. The one thing that I wish I did before breast augmentation is I wish I using the same side for both sides, because right now, because we're using 330 on my right side and 295 on my left. My left right now kind of look a little bit smaller now than my right side, so I think over time when I building up more tissue, it would be evening themselves out. But right now my left side now, like switch side, is gonna be look a little bit more smaller than my right side. So I wish when I went to surgery I do both of the side the same rather than going one bigger and one smaller. So yeah, and maybe in the future I switch it to like a little bit more bigger. Yeah. How did you choose your doctor? So I choose my Dr. Ghavami. I was doing his research for like a long time ago. I think I saw something, he was like on TV, or I was doing research on getting breast implants since 2015. So I followed his journey since 2015. I actually contacted the team and all of that. So yeah, so I've been having in my mind like that's the doctor I want to get my boobs done since like 2015. I've been following his whole process ever since. So it's been like a very, very long time, and actually he's so popular right now that it's kind of like hard to get appointment with him also. And I booked my appointment since like a year ago, last summer. And my surgery is not till like this spring, summer, so it's like kind of like a year process to get consultation. So glad I got a consultation with Dr. Ghavami and was so worth it. So yeah, so that's how I chose my doctor. I did research since like years, 7 years. Yeah. How long was your breast augmentation recovery? So again, with the breast augmentation, I think it's easier to say you get a little bit more comfortable with your breast within your first 6 weeks. The first 3 weeks, honestly, it's gonna be horrible. Like, I don't know how people get back to work within the week after, because everything still feels sore and tight. Or it's kind of like different for each person, depends on your breast tissue, but I could not move normally within the first 3 weeks. But once you reach the 6 weeks, it's much better. Everything is settled, and now that I'm kind of like slowly reaching 3 months, everything is settled perfectly. Now I can sleep on the side again, and everything feel like super like soft to like the touch. So yeah, and then I think when you fully heal, it's gonna be like 3 months to 6 months. That's gonna be like the timeline for you to fully heal. What is your bra size now? So I mentioned before, right now on my bra right now is 34C. If I'm wearing like the wire bra, or like even with the no wire bra, it's gonna be 34C. And I showed you a lot before with my like sport bra right in here. So I bought a medium one before I did my breast augmentation. I thought, oh, my breast can be a little bit more bigger, so maybe I need to up a size on my sport bra, because I wear my sport bra a lot at home. But actually I don't. Right now I can still wearing like my old sport bra before, which is the size small. So anything kind of like this without on a wire, you can still wear like the same size. I'm still wearing a small right now. I ordered the medium, and the medium actually is too big for me and feel a little bit more loose. So I do like the small one a little bit more better. So yeah, and across the board, all my bra size is perfectly 34C, and with me doing my measurement, my breast can be 34 and my underbust is 28. And another question that a lot of people ask is how much with your surgery. So with my breast augmentation, going to be a little bit more pricey. So the total price of my breast augmentation is $12,825. Let's try in here.
I'll need a little money from the ATM.
Denied. Approved.
And you, with that, it's also including like the $500 consultation fee when you first booking your consultation is kind of like $500. I think it's now is $750 for consultations. So that does include into your consultation and then surgery price. So mine was $12,825, and then you do have to put in a $2,000 deposit for them to hold your surgery day, and that all of that is kind of like non-refundable. So that's going to be how much my breast costs. And since we kind of like partner up with him, I did get a little bit more, like a little bit discount. It's not that much. It's kind of like influencer discount, but it's not that much. So yeah, it's still over like 10,000 something, 11,000 something. Yeah, so I didn't get that much of a discount, but I do got a little bit discount for all the video and all of that. So yeah, that's how much my surgery costs. And how do your clothes fit after you getting your boob job? So when my I practically still wearing the same clothes. I didn't have to change size anything, which is a little bit nice. Everything just filled out a little bit more. Some shirts fit a little bit more better. I tend not to go with something too baggy or too big, like a baggy dripping t-shirt, but then because if I put it on now to have boobs, everything kind of like drip to the front, and then I feel like a tent. Like everything just feel big if I like wearing a loose t-shirt. So I try to wear something a little bit more like fitted to look a little bit more less tenty. So yeah, so I'm still kind of like in the middle of trying new clothes and all that. So I haven't, because we've been staying home all the time, so I haven't been wearing like different clothes. I just wearing like sport bra at home all the time. So yeah. Okay, so it's almost time for us to go to the movie, and I think I'm gonna cut it right in here. I hope I answered all the questions that you guys asked me. If not, do ask me on the comments. Put your questions on the comments, and I'd love to answer them maybe on the next video if I get enough questions to make another video. So yeah, put your comments right down below. Also, a lot of you love to comment me on my DM on my Instagram at bella.c.com, which is super nice. And yeah, so I guess I'm gonna see you again on the next video. We're gonna try on a few new makeup that I've been trying on. I know we haven't been doing a lot of like makeup trial, but yeah, actually today I was trying out the new KVD foundation a little bit. So yeah, next video we're gonna do a little bit more makeup base. So yeah, for the next video, and after that we're actually gonna go on vacation to Cancun, and this trip is gonna be amazing. We booked a lot of amazing stuff, and there's something in the work in Cancun, so stay tuned for the Cancun vlog. So yeah, so I'm gonna see you again on the next video. And if you like this video right now, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel right down below. I'm almost hitting like 1,000, so hopefully I'm hitting 1,000 soon, so I can start monetizing my video. So if you like my video, don't forget to like and subscribe right down below. Ring the bell button for next video. Notification for the next video. It's been a while. And don't forget to follow me on all my social media at bella.c.snow, and I'll see you again on the next video.
For the rest of our lives. Oh my baby, we were lovers in a past life. Maybe we were circling the same line, counting up forever every morning with the sun in our eyes.
You know, I have a dream too. To be rich and beautiful and have a great body. Oh, look, my dream came true.